keep in mind, again, their point of view from the White House is that, you can all go pound sand because we have the power. The power is vested via this particular act that really hasn't been used since the days of World War II, the Aliens Remedies Act of 1798, which is why you got Pam Bondi telling the judge in the first case, Judge Boasberg, to go pound sand, that he was out over his skis. You remember what she had to say about that quote unquote deadline, which they they didn't really answer all the questions he had, because their point of view is we don't have to. Because it's none of your business. We have the authority to do this. Here she was speaking out on Thursday about the issue.
Let's start, if we might, from the decision by Judge Boasberg. Tomorrow is your deadline to answer questions. Those questions include the following: what time did the plane take off from U.S. soil? Where did it leave from? What time did it leave U.S. airspace? And what time did it land in a foreign country? You have, 4, 5, 6 questions the judge wants answers to regarding the details of those flights over the weekend. How will you respond at the Department of Justice?
Well, our lawyers are working on this. We will answer appropriately, but what I will tell you is this judge has no right to ask those questions. You have one unelected federal judge trying to control foreign policies, trying to control the Alien Enemies Act, which they have no business presiding over. And there are 261 reasons why Americans are safer now. That's because those people are out of this country. The judge had no business, no power to do what he did. And he came in on an emergency basis on a Saturday with very, very short notice, if any, to our attorney to run in the courtroom. And this has been a pattern with these liberal judges. You just spoke about that. It's been a pattern with what they've been doing. This judge had no right to do that. They're meddling in foreign affairs. They're meddling in our government. And the question should be, why is a judge trying to protect terrorists who have invaded our country over American citizens? TDA is a terrorist organization.
Okay, so that's what this is really going to come down to. I mean, if the president doesn't have the power to say, hey, I'm going to expel terrorists out of the country, then what are we really dealing with here? The DOJ sort of saying to this judge, you have no business doing any of this. He warned of certain consequences. Well, the consequences are coming, I guess. Now we're in the appellate courts. It's probably going to have to go all the way to the Supreme Court, guys, because the Supreme Court's going to be the one to make the decision on whether or not you can use the Alien Enemies Act, which actually has only been used 3 other times in U.S. history, including for the detention of Japanese Americans during World War II. So it's something that hasn't been used a lot, but is something that is sort of innovative in the legal scholarly theory thinking, right? How do you get rid of people that are known problems, that have committed crimes that you know about, that you're detaining already? I'll tell you one thing, like ICE is just moving forward. They're continuing to do it. They actually had another plane full go back to Venezuela today. Donald Trump saying we absolutely have the time to do this. This is a kind of war, right? This is a time of war. He sees this 1798 Aliens Enemy Act as fair game. Here he is speaking last weekend on Air Force One.
Drug dealers at the highest level, drug lords, people from mental institutions. That's an invasion. They invaded our country. So this isn't, in that sense, this is war.
There you go. Okay, so in that sense, it is war. So why do you have these very, very partisan, and forgive me, but this woman is an Obama-appointed judge. We'll learn more about her in the coming days. We've learned some things about Beaupart. I mean, look, his daughter works for one of the NGOs that's losing money. I don't know whether that's here nor there, but may reflect some bias, the flip side of it. Edgar, good to see you back in the house, as well as spirit-filled. I have some of it. You know what? I'm just going to tell you something. I do appreciate all the support. You have no idea. We are totally independent here. We are totally independent, and isn't that great? I mean, we do have our sponsors. I got you guys, right? And then we've got American Heart for Gold. So if you're going to buy gold, go take a look at these guys. Really good team, and they help bring us this. Help bring you this show for free every day. You can go to trishlovesgold.com, sign up there, trishlovesgold.com, up to $15,000 in free silver for friends of the show. Text Trish to 65532, 65532. Just get out your little phone and text right now. I get so much news this is what happens when, you go away, because Jasmine Crockett is like calling for violence, not just on Tesla, but also now Ted Cruz. That's the latest and greatest after hearing Pam Bondi's warning. Unbelievable. But you know, with all this chaos, I guess it makes sense. You want a little gold in your pocket. Gold went down today. I actually bought a little bit, as I always do when it goes down a little bit, because I'm a long-term believer in this one. A few other things I'm a long-term believer in as well. You can find out more about that at 76 Research. But go check out trishlovesgold.com today. As for all the other things that I do believe in big time, go to 76 Research. Use code word dollar. My investment research newsletter. I have all my opinions. It's together with my dear friend Rob Horton, who managed billions of dollars on Wall Street for 20 some odd years. So between the two of us, we kind of got it going on, and we know what's working. And I want to be able to impart that knowledge however I can with you. So gold is one of those things that's working. Go to trishlovesgold.com. And then if you want more information on these markets, go check out 76research.com. I'll tell you one thing, guys, they're continuing to move forward with these deportations. Tom Homan, he's already said he doesn't care. They sent another plane worth some 200 and some odd criminals back to Venezuela today.
Another flight every day. The teams are going to be out there every day. Every day, the men and women of ICE are going to be in the neighborhoods of this nation arresting criminal, illegal alien, public safety threats, and national security threats. Lawrence, you're not going to stop us. We made a promise to the American people. The President Trump has made a promise to the American people. We're going to make this country safe again.
And they were sent a mandate. So, by the way, I should point out, border crossings down 95% since Donald Trump came into office. And this mandate is really, really clear. In fact, the Democrats are even reporting on it, because this is a company that's used by a lot of Dems, great data company, Blue Rose, I believe it's called, Blue Rose Research. And they found that basically Trump would have won by nearly 5 points more if all the Democrats had actually shown up, because they wanted this stuff to get done. There was a mandate. I mean, hey, nobody wants a ton of illegals draining the system and possibly creating crime, etc., you name it. And so with border crossings way down, you know, I don't know if the Democrats know what to do. Chuck Schumer was asked about this the other day. He didn't know how to respond. I showed some of you guys this on Thursday. If you're just joining us right now, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Join our team here. But here is Chuck Schumer not really liking the good news.
Evidence that Trump's border policies are working? Is he handling the border well, you think, sir?
Crickets, okay? He doesn't want to answer that one. But here's the data, okay? The numbers are really spectacular. So you're looking at over 275,000 or so, whatever the number was. It was massive. Massive, right before Trump came into office. And look at that graphic. Look at it, just sinks with Donald Trump there now. Amazing, right? Just amazing.